Next-generation encryption technologies, the digital arms race. Welcome back to Cybernetic Warfare Frontlines, where we decode the most advanced technologies shaping tomorrow's digital battlefields. Today we're diving deep into the cryptographic revolution that's fundamentally transforming how nations, corporations, and individuals protect their most sensitive information in an era of quantum computing and advanced cyber warfare. Encryption has evolved from a simple tool for protecting diplomatic cables to the primary weapon in humanity's fight for digital sovereignty. Today's encryption technologies don't just protect data, they determine which civilizations will survive the transition to a post-quantum world and which will become digital vassals to more technologically advanced adversaries. The encryption arms race has reached a critical inflection point. While most of the world relies on mathematical algorithms that quantum computers will eventually render obsolete, forward-thinking nations and organizations are already deploying next-generation cryptographic systems that will define the balance of power for the next century. The stakes couldn't be higher. Whoever controls the strongest encryption technologies will control the flow of information, commerce, and power in the digital age. The quantum cryptographic apocalypse, the advent of practical quantum computing, represents the most significant cryptographic disruption in human history. Current encryption methods that would take classical computers billions of years to break could be defeated by sufficiently powerful quantum machines in mere hours or days. This quantum threat isn't theoretical, it's imminent, and is forcing a complete reimagining of how we protect digital information. The mathematical foundations underlying RSA, elliptic curve cryptography, and other widely used encryption standards rely on the computational difficulty of factoring large numbers or solving discrete logarithm problems. Quantum computers, leveraging Shor's algorithm, can solve these problems exponentially faster than classical computers, effectively rendering decades of cryptographic infrastructure obsolete overnight. Intelligence agencies worldwide are already harvesting encrypted data under the assumption that future quantum computers will be able to decrypt it retroactively. This harvest now, decrypt later strategy means that any sensitive information encrypted with current methods may already be compromised, even if it remains secure today. The implications extend far beyond government secrets to encompass financial systems, healthcare records, industrial designs, and personal communications. The timeline for cryptographically relevant quantum computers remains uncertain, but most experts agree that the threat will materialize within the next 2 decades. This compressed timeline has created an unprecedented urgency in developing and deploying quantum-resistant encryption technologies before the quantum advantage renders current systems obsolete. Post-quantum cryptography, building tomorrow's defense. Post-quantum cryptography represents humanity's primary defense against the quantum threat. Unlike current encryption methods that rely on mathematical problems vulnerable to quantum attack, post-quantum algorithms are based on mathematical structures that remain difficult even for quantum computers to solve. These new cryptographic foundations will form the backbone of secure communications in the quantum era. The National Institute of Standards and Technology has led a global effort to identify and standardize post-quantum cryptographic algorithms through a rigorous multi-year evaluation process. This standardization effort has examined dozens of candidate algorithms across multiple mathematical approaches, including lattice-based cryptography, hash-based signatures, code-based cryptography, and multivariate polynomial systems. Lattice-based cryptography has emerged as one of the most promising approaches for post-quantum encryption. These systems base their security on the difficulty of solving problems in high-dimensional lattices, mathematical structures that remain challenging for both classical and quantum computers. The learning with errors problem and its variants provide the mathematical foundation for many lattice-based schemes, offering strong security guarantees with relatively efficient implementations. Code-based cryptography represents another mature approach to post-quantum security. These systems derive their strength from error-correcting codes and the difficulty of decoding random linear codes. While some code-based schemes require larger key sizes than lattice-based alternatives, they offer well-understood security properties and decades of cryptanalytic scrutiny. Hash-based digital signatures provide the most conservative approach to post-quantum cryptography, with security guarantees that depend only on the strength of cryptographic hash functions. These signatures offer exceptional security but come with limitations on the number of signatures that can be generated with a single key pair, making them suitable for specific applications rather than general-purpose use. Quantum key distribution, physics-based security. Quantum key distribution represents a fundamentally different approach to cryptographic security, leveraging the laws of quantum physics rather than mathematical complexity to ensure communication security. QKD systems can detect any attempt to intercept cryptographic keys, providing information theoretic security that remains unbreakable regardless of computational advances. The principles underlying QKD exploit the quantum mechanical property that measuring a quantum system disturbs it in detectable ways. When cryptographic keys are encoded in quantum states and transmitted over quantum channels, any eavesdropping attempt introduces measurable disturbances that alert legitimate parties to the presence of an adversary. Current QKD implementations primarily use photonic systems, where individual photons carry quantum-encoded information over fiber optic cables or free-space optical links. These systems can detect tampering with extraordinary sensitivity, but they face practical limitations in terms of transmission distance, data rates, and infrastructure requirements. Satellite-based QKD represents an emerging frontier that could extend quantum-secured communications globally. Several nations have successfully demonstrated satellite QKD systems, and commercial satellite QKD services are beginning to emerge. These space-based systems could enable quantum-secured communications between continents, though they face unique challenges related to atmospheric interference and satellite tracking. The integration of QKD with classical communication networks requires sophisticated protocols and engineering solutions. Hybrid systems that combine QKD for key distribution with conventional encryption for data transmission offer a practical path toward quantum-secured communications that can scale to support real-world applications. Homomorphic encryption. Computing on encrypted data. Homomorphic encryption represents one of the most revolutionary developments in modern cryptography, enabling computations to be performed directly on encrypted data without ever decrypting it. This capability fundamentally transforms how sensitive data can be processed in untrusted environments, opening new possibilities for secure cloud computing and privacy-preserving analytics. The mathematical foundations of homomorphic encryption allow specific operations to be performed on ciphertext such that the result, when decrypted, matches the result of performing equivalent operations on the original plaintext. This property enables complex computations to be outsourced to untrusted parties without revealing the underlying data or intermediate results. Fully homomorphic encryption schemes support arbitrary computations on encrypted data, effectively enabling encrypted cloud services where the service provider never accesses plaintext information. While early FHE schemes suffered from enormous computational overheads, recent advances have brought performance within reach of practical applications for specific use cases. Somewhat homomorphic encryption offers a more practical alternative that supports limited types of operations, such as addition and multiplication, with much better performance characteristics. These schemes enable important applications like private set intersection, secure aggregation, and privacy-preserving machine learning without the full generality of FHE. The integration of homomorphic encryption with real-world systems requires careful consideration of performance, security, and usability trade-offs. Hybrid approaches that combine homomorphic encryption with other privacy-preserving technologies often provide the best balance of security and efficiency for specific applications. Zero-knowledge cryptography. Proving without revealing. Zero-knowledge cryptography enables parties to prove knowledge of information without revealing the information itself. This powerful capability has profound implications for digital identity, authentication, and privacy-preserving systems in an increasingly surveilled digital world. Zero-knowledge proofs allow a prover to convince a verifier that a statement is true without providing any information beyond the validity of the statement itself. This property enables new forms of authentication where users can prove their identity or credentials without revealing sensitive personal information. Interactive zero-knowledge protocols require multiple rounds of communication between prover and verifier, with the verifier challenging the prover to demonstrate knowledge in ways that would be impossible to fake without actually possessing the secret information. These protocols provide strong security guarantees but require real-time interaction between parties. Non-interactive zero-knowledge proofs eliminate the need for back-and-forth communication by using cryptographic techniques that allow the prover to generate a single proof that can be verified independently. These proofs enable new applications like anonymous credentials and privacy-preserving blockchain systems. The practical applications of zero-knowledge cryptography are expanding rapidly, encompassing everything from anonymous voting systems to privacy-preserving financial services. These technologies enable systems where users can prove eligibility for services or compliance with regulations without revealing sensitive personal information. Blockchain and distributed cryptographic systems. Blockchain technology has revolutionized how cryptographic systems can be distributed across networks of untrusted participants. Beyond cryptocurrency applications, blockchain platforms enable new forms of cryptographic infrastructure that don't rely on centralized authorities or single points of failure. Distributed ledger technologies use cryptographic techniques to maintain consensus across networks of participants who don't trust each other. Hash functions, digital signatures, and Merkle trees combine to create tamper-evident records that can be verified independently by any network participant. Smart contracts enable programmable cryptographic protocols that execute automatically based on predefined conditions. These systems can implement complex cryptographic protocols without requiring trusted intermediaries, opening new possibilities for decentralized identity systems, automatic escrow services, and programmable privacy. The integration of advanced cryptographic techniques with blockchain platforms is enabling new capabilities like confidential transactions, where transaction amounts remain encrypted while still enabling network validation. Ring signatures and other privacy-preserving techniques allow for anonymous transactions while maintaining system integrity. Threshold cryptography enables cryptographic operations to be distributed across multiple parties such that no single party can compromise the system. These techniques are being integrated with blockchain platforms to create more resilient and decentralized cryptographic infrastructure. Advanced threat models and cryptographic countermeasures. Modern cryptographic systems must defend against increasingly sophisticated adversaries with advanced capabilities. Nation-state actors, organized crime groups, and well-funded corporate adversaries employ techniques that go far beyond simple brute force attacks to compromise cryptographic systems. Side-channel attacks exploit physical properties of cryptographic implementations to extract secret information. Power analysis, timing attacks, and electromagnetic emanations can reveal cryptographic keys even when the underlying algorithms remain mathematically secure. Defending against these attacks requires sophisticated countermeasures at the hardware and software levels. Advanced persistent threats often target cryptographic infrastructure through supply chain compromises, insider threats, and long-term infiltration campaigns. These attacks may involve compromising cryptographic implementations, stealing keys, or subtly weakening systems over extended periods. Fault injection attacks attempt to cause errors in cryptographic computations that reveal information about secret keys or internal states. These attacks can be mounted through electromagnetic interference, voltage manipulation, or other techniques that cause controlled malfunctions in cryptographic hardware. The development of cryptographic countermeasures requires understanding the full spectrum of potential attacks and implementing defenses that address both mathematical and implementation vulnerabilities. Formal verification techniques are increasingly important for ensuring that cryptographic implementations actually provide the security properties they claim. Cryptographic hardware and secure implementations. The security of cryptographic systems ultimately depends on the hardware and software implementations that execute cryptographic algorithms. Specialized cryptographic hardware provides enhanced security through features like tamper resistance, secure key storage, and protected execution environments. Hardware security modules provide high security environments for cryptographic operations and key management. These devices offer physical protection against tampering and sophisticated key management capabilities that are essential for high security applications. Trusted platform modules integrate cryptographic capabilities directly into computer systems, providing hardware-rooted security for device authentication, secure boot, and key management. TPMs enable new forms of device attestation and secure communication that don't rely on purely software-based security. Secure enclaves and trusted execution environments create protected areas within general-purpose processors where sensitive computations can be performed safely even when the surrounding system is compromised. These technologies enable new applications like confidential computing and secure multi-party computation. The integration of cryptographic accelerators into modern processors improves the performance of cryptographic operations while providing some protection against side-channel attacks. These hardware features are becoming essential for supporting the computational demands of post-quantum cryptography and other advanced cryptographic techniques. Cryptographic protocols for emerging technologies. The proliferation of Internet of Things devices and edge computing systems creates new challenges for cryptographic protocol design. These resource-constrained environments require cryptographic solutions that provide strong security while operating within severe computational and energy limitations. Lightweight cryptography focuses on developing cryptographic algorithms specifically optimized for resource-constrained devices. These algorithms must provide adequate security while minimizing computational requirements, memory usage, and energy consumption. Authenticated encryption schemes combine confidentiality and authenticity protections in efficient implementations suitable for IoT applications. These schemes reduce the complexity of cryptographic protocol design while providing the security properties needed for device communications. The challenge of key management in large-scale IoT deployments requires new approaches to cryptographic infrastructure. Hierarchical key derivation, device-specific keys, and automated key rotation schemes enable scalable security for deployments with millions of connected devices. Cryptographic protocols for edge computing must balance security requirements with the need for low-latency processing and local decision-making. These systems often require techniques like attribute-based encryption and proxy re-encryption that enable selective data sharing without compromising overall system security. The future of cryptographic warfare. The evolution of cryptographic technologies will continue to accelerate as new mathematical discoveries, computational capabilities, and threat models emerge. The organizations and nations that master these technologies will possess significant advantages in both defensive and offensive cyber capabilities. Artificial intelligence is beginning to impact cryptographic research through automated algorithm discovery, vulnerability analysis, and protocol verification. Machine learning techniques may eventually enable new forms of cryptanalysis that challenge current security assumptions. The development of fault-tolerant quantum computers will trigger the most significant cryptographic transition in history. Organizations that successfully navigate this transition will maintain secure communications, while those that fail may find their most sensitive information exposed to adversaries. The integration of biological and DNA-based information storage with cryptographic systems represents an emerging frontier that could revolutionize how long-term secrets are protected. These systems could provide security guarantees that extend across geological timescales. The democratization of advanced cryptographic technologies through open-source implementations and standardization efforts will reshape the global balance of cryptographic power. The challenge for advanced nations will be maintaining technological advantages while preventing adversaries from accessing the same capabilities. Conclusion: the cryptographic landscape is undergoing its most dramatic transformation since the invention of public key cryptography. The technologies we've explored today, post-quantum cryptography, quantum key distribution, homomorphic encryption, zero-knowledge proofs, and advanced implementation techniques, will determine which organizations and nations maintain their secrets in the quantum era. The encryption technologies of tomorrow are being built today in research laboratories and engineering centers around the world. The nations and organizations that invest in developing, implementing, and mastering these technologies will inherit significant advantages in the digital conflicts of the next century. The quantum threat is not a distant possibility, it's an approaching reality that demands immediate action. Every day of delay in transitioning to quantum-resistant cryptography is another day of vulnerability to adversaries who may already possess the quantum capabilities needed to break current encryption standards. Remember that in the age of quantum computing and advanced cryptanalysis, the strength of your encryption determines not just the security of your data, but your sovereignty in an increasingly digital world. The cryptographic choices made today will echo through generations of technological development. Thank you for joining us on Cybernetic Warfare Frontlines for this comprehensive exploration of next-generation encryption technologies. Subscribe for more deep dives into the technologies that will define tomorrow's digital battlefields, and stay vigilant. In the quantum age, only the cryptographically prepared will survive.